So what is the best camera all around for beauty videos and vlogging? Well, it could be the Canon G7X Mark III. I've been testing this camera out, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys a full review and also some of my favorite features about the Canon G7X Mark III right now. Alright you guys, so clearly you clicked on this video because you are here to see my full review on the Canon G7X Mark III, and I have been filming on this bad boy for almost 2 months now. I definitely feel like I have elevated my beauty content and also my future vlogging videos. The Canon G7X Mark III dropped last year in August of 2019, and I know there are so many people out there searching for information about the Canon Mark III, especially dealing with beauty and vlogging content. My first set of pros is that this camera has autofocus, a mic input, and it also has a flip-up screen. But one thing that definitely helped elevate this camera was that it has the mic input. In the previous versions before it, it did not have a mic input, so there was no way for you to record superior audio, and you had to kind of rely on the audio that the camera was picking up. Now, even though the audio from the camera is not bad at all, it just takes your audio to a whole nother level when you're able to put in a mic. Now, my next set of pros for the Canon Mark III is that it has an f-stop of 1.8. It also has a built-in ND filter, and you basically feel like you're carrying a DSLR camera around in your pocket. Now, for my non-techie people, you may be feeling like, well, girl, why does all that matter? The lower the f-stop, the better. When people want a low f-stop, they really want to create that blurry background that you see in a lot of YouTube videos. Now, my f-stop goes down to 1.8, and that is currently what I'm filming on. It's able to create that blurry background that we see a lot on beauty videos. And the f-stop also helps control how much light is let into the camera as well. Now, on to you guys, this next question is, what is an ND filter? An ND filter basically means neutral density filter. This is a really great feature to have on this camera. The ND filter basically helps control the exposure of an image very easily. And this filter also stops light from reaching your camera sensor. So that is like the easiest way to explain what an ND filter is. It just basically makes your images look way better. Now, my last set of pros for this camera is that it's great for photography. It records in 1080p, 60 frames per second, and it records in 4K. Like, what? That basically means it's able to capture your motion way more faster. And that contributes to the clarity and the crispiness of the image that you guys see on your phones, on your computers, on your tablets. Like, it just looks clear on any device. And the thing I love about this camera is that it packs so much power because it's so small and you're able to get so much for so little. DSLR cameras are known to start out in the thousands. And girl, I don't have $1,200 to spare. Usually with DSLR cameras, you have to buy the body by itself and the lens separately. That can easily run you upward of $2,000 plus. And honestly, a lot of people that are content creators or beginning content creators, they do not have $2,000 to pour into getting those high performing cameras. So with this one, you're able to get so much more for a lot less. Another great thing that's great about this Canon is that it takes amazing photos. It has completely leveled up my thumbnail game. Like, my thumbnails are way more crisp, way more clean, and they're super sharp as well. So that means basically the clarity is on a whole nother level. It is also great for taking Instagram pictures as well. So if you're an Instagram girl and you're looking for a camera to level up your Instagram, then of course the G7X Mark III can also help you with that as well. Now, like everything in life, things are going to have their pros and things are going to have their cons. But what we always look for is our pros to outweigh our cons. In this case, it definitely does, but for some people, you may feel like these are deal breakers. But make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video so I can show you how to maximize your pros and minimize your cons. Now, some of the cons I have experienced with this camera is that my camera overheats whenever I record on 4K. Now, the firmware 1.2.0 was supposed to help with the internal heating up when you record on 4K. But unfortunately for me, the firmware has not helped with the overheating of the 4K. Now, what you can do if this is a deal breaker for you, then hey, just don't get this camera and move on to something else. But if that's not a deal breaker for you, then let's move on to the next con. Another thing that kind of bothers me is that the fact that if I want to record in 4K, I only get up to 10 minutes of footage. Now, this can be bad when you have found your rhythm in your video and you are just flowing, and then next thing you know, your camera stops. Now we're irritated because now we have to restart it and re-find our place in our mind, what we were talking about, to continue on with our video. So if you're going to be doing long videos such as beauty videos or tutorials, I strongly advise for you not to try to record in 4K. Now, another con that I experienced with this camera that has been fixed by now is the slow autofocus. The Canon Mark II was known for having superior autofocus. So when I got this one, I was like, wow, I'm gonna have 4K, I'm gonna have superior autofocus. But it was gut-wrenching when I got this camera and I noticed how much the autofocus would kind of lose my face, and I would have to refocus myself at times. And the thing is, the focus was very slow. Usually when something autofocuses, it should take about 5 seconds, but I do feel like when I am re-autofocusing, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds, which again can be super annoying when you're shooting beauty content. Now, my final con about the Canon Mark III is the price tag. This camera retails for $749. Now, Canon did go ahead and decide to drop the price down on the Canon Mark III. It is now $700 instead of $749. Now, I firmly believe Canon dropped the price on the Canon Mark III based on the fact that it has been overheating and the autofocus issue. Now, even though the Canon Mark III does have overheating issues and the autofocus is slightly been fixed on it, I definitely believe it's still a great camera overall, especially for what I'm using it for, which is, of course, vlogging and creating content for you guys. Now, if you guys have made it to this point, please make sure you are thumbsing up and subscribing and commenting, and let me know if you would love to see more content like this from me, where I'm giving you guys advice about creating beauty content here on YouTube, because I definitely think I have started to find my way. All right, you guys, so finally we have reached my favorite part of this video: how to minimize your cons and maximize your pros. One of my ways of maximizing my pros is having the Canon Connect app. You need this app on your phone. This app becomes a remote for my Canon, basically meaning I can take my pictures with one click of a button from my phone. I can also start shooting a video right here from on my phone. I can also zoom in. I can put it on the timer. Another great pro about this app is that it allows you to transfer the images straight to your phone. All you basically have to do is tap images on camera. It will pull up all the images that are saved to your camera roll. You can select the ones that you want and just download it right onto your iPhone. Now, another way you can help dealing with your autofocus issue is to shoot on auto. Currently, right now, I am shooting on auto with my Canon Mark III. This way, when I move or do any type of hand movements, the camera continues to focus on my face. My next thing for maximizing your pros is to always make sure you shoot on 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now, even though I am not recording on 4K like I want to, 1080p at 60 frames per second is the next best thing. Once my video hits your screen, it's in full HD. So you could watch me on your television and it would be in full HD. Now, my last and final tip for maximizing your pros and minimizing your cons is dealing with how I focus my camera. Now, what I can do on my phone, when my face is on my phone, I can definitely press my face on my phone and it'll focus in like that. But what I can also do, I will lean in and then I will see the box focusing on my face. You can lean in for about 5 to 10 seconds and then go back to your regular position and your face will be in focus. All right, you guys, so this is basically going to conclude my review for the Canon G7X Mark III. If you guys have any questions about anything concerning this camera, please feel free to ask your questions below. Also, make sure you are thumbsing up and subscribing so I'll know you enjoyed this content. Yeah, you guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.